So I've just done a video. I was playing the game Let's Talk About, and my category to discuss was, should we fear AI? And I related it mainly to writing because I'm an author. But it sparked another idea for a little bit of a conversation. Things to look out for. How do you know if a book has been written or produced by AI? The stock answer to that is you don't, because even when you've got AI detection software, it isn't foolproof. I have, and if I'm reading a book, I will often feed a couple of thousand words into it to see, because I'm not going to waste my time reading and reviewing a book that has been produced by AI in 1.3 minutes. So things to look out for. There are giveaways. Now, the reason that this will never be foolproof, AI is getting better all the time. Every day AI is getting better. And I explained in my last video how they've produced this ability to write books. And it is by stealing, theft, every indie book ever written, and they feed it into their great big database. And when somebody wants a book writing, they will take this bit and this bit and this bit and this bit and this sentence and this word and this clever phrase, chuck them together, there's your book. So they don't steal a book from a person. They will steal a sentence from a book to produce a whole book. Things to look out for. It's never going to be foolproof, because these things most writers do. Most genuine writers do these things. So I'm going to give you a few examples, and they have to be taken in context. Look for quantity. If you have this thing in conjunction with one or two or three of the other things I'm going to mention, and they appear every page or every couple of pages, it's probably AI. So, first one, lists. AI loves a list. My son went to boarding school, and he took his tracksuit, and he took his trainers, and he took this, and he took that, and he took his teddy bear, and he took this. They'll write a list. Most writers at some point have written a list into the fiction. A detective might list his clues. A romance, she might list a pros and cons of why she's fallen madly in love with this man. Authors do it. So if you find a list in a book, don't automatically assume it's AI. If you find a list 3 times in a chapter, it's a little alarm bell. The next thing is pairing. AI will almost always pair things. So it will say, I went for a pizza and an ice cream. I did this and this. I bought this and this. I cooked this and this. I felt sad and miserable. I saw a sunset and a star. Look for pairing. And if something is paired, sort of every paragraph, another alarm bell. The next one is like, making similes. So I went to the swimming baths like an athlete. I went to bed and slept like a baby. How many times has an author written that? It's not foolproof. I did this like, I saw this like, I was this like, I can do this like. Look for the word like and look for similes. AI is very fond of them. The next thing is smells. AI is very fond of a smell. She walked into her cottage and it smelled like cinnamon and toast. I wandered in the park and smelt the grass and the roses. We like a smell. All authors write about smells. You know, it's a huge sensory descriptive, and we all do it because it adds a texture to our writing. So again, not foolproof. I haven't seen this so much lately, but two things in the early days that you got all the time was weaving and tapestries. Look out for weaving and tapestries. As I say, I haven't seen it much lately, but it used to be quite prevalent in AI. Her world was woven like a beautiful tapestry. The tapestry of her life was unravelling in the weaving, rubbish like that. Journeys, we also like a journey. And this, again, is something else that I haven't seen much of lately, but it used to be very prevalent. The journey she was on was filled with heartbreak and misery. We do like a journey in AI. I think that'll do for now, mainly because my mind's gone blank and I can't think of another one. I'll think of another 10 when I've got into bed and won't sleep because I'll be thinking of all these things that AI uses all the time. What you should look for is a combination of these things and in great regularity. You know, it won't just be once, 3 times in a book. It'll be every paragraph, every page, certainly every 2 pages. So, how to spot AI. And when you've spotted it, you can run it through software and it'll either tell you it's 100% written, 50% written, 75% written, whatever, or completely non-AI, completely written by a human being. Whatever it tells you, you can't trust it because it can be wrong in either instance. So if you're going to accuse an author of having an AI written book, be very careful because it may not be. The other thing is, indie authors, maybe even mainstream authors, they all fish in the same pond. So if you read a whole series of books by one author and you write yourself, you are very likely to pick up their traits and habits. And it's the same with any book writing. You will subconsciously, you might not even be aware that you're doing it, you will pick up influences. All through life, everything we do is an influence that can be used in writing. And that's a good thing, it's not a bad thing. So again, you might think something is AI, but you have just picked up this habit because you've read AI, or you've picked up the habit from somebody else, or maybe AI has picked up the habit from you. There you go. So be careful, be aware, don't waste your time on AI written rubbish because it's not fair on real authors that put a lot of work into the books. But be very careful of accusing somebody of AI writing. Luckily, I've never had an accusation. I'm sure I will have one at some point. I'm sure all authors will have one at some point. And I think within the next 12 months, there will be no differential between real authors and AI written books, because AI is improving every single day. It's getting better, and it can produce quite readable stories now. It's frightening. It's frightening. Will authors be out of work in 5 years' time? I think there's a high likelihood that we will. The industry is just going to be taken over by AI. And the same with digital art, the same with any art, the same with paintings, sculpture even. No doubt they'll come up with something that, will they? Probably. I think art and creativity is in trouble. Anyway, that's my take. Thank you very much. Nice chat. Come and talk to me. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinion. Let's have a discussion about it. See you later.